Let's talk about RTD2. This was an era that was meant to be the new dawn, the saviour of Doctor Who, the one that, after it was meant to be cancelled from Chibnall, was going to bring it back. And it is now over. And it ended in a way that wasn't great. We're going to look at the top 5 reasons why RTD2 failed. But before we get into it, ignore my hair, it's wet, I've just got out of the shower, and I'm bulk recording, so you're going to have hair like this for the next couple of days. Brilliant. But I'm very, very close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you could subscribe, please help me get there. I'm so close. And just watching the videos and commenting and sharing, and there's a button in the comments, there's a hype button. If you push that, it pushes my video out to loads of people. Thank you very much. I'll stop wasting your time now. On with the video. Number 5. Resetting the numbering. Now, I know realistically the Church on Ruby Road was supposed to be episode 1 and Space Babies was meant to air on like New Year's Day, and then the whole of season 1 was meant to air after that, and it was almost to be one block, the big winter of Doctor Who they were calling it, but because of, I can only assume, post-production stuff and delays, they had to delay it until like May. Which meant that we had a long gap where there was nothing, and that led new fans to see the trailer for season 1 and go, oh, I'll jump on this show, and they jumped on straight away with Space Babies. If they jumped on with the Church on Ruby Road, I think we'd be in a completely different world, but they put the Church on Ruby Road in a special section. You don't put it in the specials section, you put it in season 1, episode 1, because people are going to look at specials and go, oh, David Tennant, Catherine Tate, oh, I'm not into any of that, I want just to watch Doctor Who for what it is now. They go to season 1, episode 1, and that's Space Babies? That's not a way to start the show. Space Babies, I genuinely think is overhated. It's not bad. It's a great episode 2. But you need to watch episode 1 first. You can't just jump into episode 2, and they labelled it as if it was episode 1, even though it's episode 2. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why they did it, and it really bugs me because the show had such good potential. The Church on Ruby Road is a great opener. I said they shouldn't have done the opener at Christmas because that'll put people off watching the era from front to back in like the summertime because people won't want to watch Christmas stuff. And I just think that overall there was a lot of things that went wrong around the start, and like that is number 1 protocol of that. You don't put episode 1 in specials when you've done 3 specials that are just nostalgia bait. If you want new viewers to come in and watch, you put it in series 1, episode 1. And where are we now? This hasn't helped us. If anything, it's made it worse because the Disney deal has fallen through and Doctor Who is still going to come back. Are they going to do season 3? Are they going to reset it again? I hate these resets. I think they look messy. What they should have done initially is just kept going. Partner with Disney, by all means, go for it. But you can get people with a show like The Big Bang Theory or Friends. You can watch Series 8, Episode 14 and get the gist of what's going on. You can do that with Doctor Who as well. Well, you could have done if they'd have written it to a way where it wasn't so lore dependent. But you could you could say to someone, hey, start Doctor Who on, like for example, if they kept going with the numbers and we were about to get season 16. You could say to someone, hey, start Doctor Who on season 16, and people will go, oh, Doctor Who's been on for ages, fine, I'll start with season 16. But if they keep going for season 3, if we're getting season 3 next, and we say, right, start Doctor Who with season 3, they're going to go, I might as well watch season 1 and 2, right? And we go, well, no, don't watch that, because this is a fresh new era, you don't need to watch that. But they'll go, well, I might as well watch it. No one's going to jump on this early to season 3, which is a brand new reset, when you've just got season 1 and 2 sat there. They're going to watch that as well. And I don't want to be harsh because I quite like the era. Seasons 1 or 2 might put them off watching season 3. So they should have just kept the numbering. Because this is what I think they should do. Genuinely what I think they should do. It'll be messy, but it's already messy. Rename seasons 1 and 2 to seasons 14 and 15 and just put them back on the original place on iPlayer. Disney Plus can do whatever the heck they want. But for this, put it back on the original place on iPlayer with seasons 14 and 15, and when we get another series, make it season 16 or series 16. It's as simple as that. That really needs to be done, because if it doesn't, people are just going to keep getting more and more confused, and it's hard to tell people to jump on the show at season 3. Don't know. Number 4, unknown returning villains. This one's a bit snappier. I'll keep this one shorter. Basically, bringing back older villains that people won't know. Now, I'll talk about Cybermen and Daleks in a little bit, but for now I'm talking about things like Sutek and Omega. Even though Omega wasn't actually in the reality war, which I will do a video on very, very soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that, they still mention him. I'm mainly going to talk about Sutekh, though, because I do think Russell took this into account and went, well, if we're going to bring back something for the old fans, we need to recontextualise it to the new fans. And that's where the Pantheon of Gods come in. I actually did a video on this yesterday, if you wouldn't mind checking that out, where I talked about how the Pantheon of Gods was a great idea because it recontextualises these old villains that are basically brought back to make us happy for new viewers, so they can watch it and go, oh, okay, well, I don't know who Sutekh is, but he's the god of death. That's fine, that's enough for me. But they didn't quite do it as well as they could have done. If they established more rules about these gods and made them seem more terrifying and actually explained what the Pantheon is, we still don't know what this Pantheon is. We know it's full of all these gods of different things, light, music, blah, 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 but what is it? Do they sit and have meetings and go, oh, I'll attack the Doctor this week, guys, you guys can sit here and do nothing? Like, what are they? Are they a family? Like, we know the Toymaker and Maestro are related, but apart from that, we don't know anything. So the gods on paper should have worked, but yeah, when it came to actually watching it, the amount of people that turned off after the Legend of Ruby Sunday and didn't come back for Empire of Death because they didn't know what was going on was very high. If it wasn't Sutekh and it was just the god of death, who could still have been a big dog, I think it would have made more people overall happy. The cliffhanger might not have been as monumentous. Elise from Satellite 5 maybe wouldn't have fallen off the chair, but we'd have had probably a more satisfying conclusion than ruining the legacy of a once loved villain. Number 3. No Daleks and no Cybermen. Now I know I've just moaned about bringing back old villains, but Daleks and Cybermen are Doctor Who. They're as crucial to Doctor Who as like the TARDIS and the Sonic Screwdriver. You know, imagine this was the new Doctor Who era without the TARDIS and without the Sonic Screwdriver. People would be like, this doesn't feel like Doctor Who. And I think part of the reason why a lot of long-term fans felt like this wasn't Doctor Who is because of the lack of Cybermen and Daleks. They are important to Doctor Who. And they are ones that new viewers will know. That's why in my last one I put it as unknown returning villains. Because there are a lot of people who've watched since 2005 who don't know who Sutekh is. Like my mum, she's watched all of 2005 to modern and didn't know who Sutekh was, so that reveal did nothing for her. Whereas with a Cyberman or a Dalek, people who don't know Doctor Who know what they are, and they could jump on at any point and know what a Dalek is. And they would know what a Dalek looks like, and it gives them a sense of this is Doctor Who as well as us. So not using them was a missed opportunity. But then again, when they announced that the Master as well and Daleks and Cybermen were taking a break, I was excited. I was like, okay, I'm up for this as a long-term fan. But now, I sort of wish they were in there. I really wish they were in there, because I think it would have made more people comfortable and want to watch, and poor Ncuti never got to face a Dalek. Rip Ncuti, man. Well, rip 15, Ncuti's very much still alive and thriving. Number 2, the format. I love episodic Doctor Who. My favourite Doctor Who is episodic Doctor Who. I don't really like classic as much anymore because I don't like weaving stories out for a long period of time. I like to just stick on an episode, know what I'm getting myself into, it'll all be resolved by the end, boosh, done. But I'm alone in that. Not technically alone, there are loads of people, but the vast majority of people, especially on Disney+, if they're binging a show, episodic formats get stale very, very quickly, because you can just clearly tell. When Doctor Who was airing back in the day, you wait a week between each episode, right? So you're meant to have waited a week, and then Monster of the Week feels fresh each time. Monster of the Week gets pretty boring if it's the only thing you're watching when you're binging. You get the same formula, introducing of new characters, introducing the threat. We go and explore the threat, something bad's happening, we save the day in the end, and we fly off in the TARDIS. Good, I enjoy that. I want it to stay as that. But I don't think it's benefiting the show. And I think with the Disney era, to do something serialised like Flux or War Between the Land and the Sea would have worked better, and more people would have been on board with it. Which pains me to say, because like I say, I love classic episodic Doctor Who, Monster of the Week, but maybe serialised would have worked better. Not maybe, it would have worked better. Giving you a little cliffhanger so you want to come back, you need to come back and see what's happening in the world of Who this week. That works. Doctor Who used to be for families who sit on the sofa and watch together. They don't do that anymore. You need to sort of have a niche and stick to it. You can't be as broad as you once were, because that's not how TV's consumed these days. I love episodic Doctor Who, but I think the format had a big part to play in the reason why a lot of new viewers hit the off switch. Number 1, the Disney deal. Now I know it did a lot of good. Giving you more budget is a great thing, right? Well, maybe not, because when you've got a massive budget, it's easy to just go, we'll just get a big CGI monster and stick him on top of the TARDIS, and that's good because it looks good. No, the story needs to be there, and I don't blame Russell because Doctor Who's never had a budget like this before, and when you've got a massive budget, you would think, let's have a massive CGI dog who's the god of death. But just because it looks pretty doesn't mean it is well done, and I think a lot of people will tell you that the Empire of Death isn't very well done. I don't mind it. I don't think it's that bad, but, you know, the general consensus is what matters, and the general public and even diehard Doctor Who fans didn't get along with this episode. And just in general, this era using a lot of CGI, like even Omega. A guy in a mask would have done. So if RTD was going to come back, he could have used his big brain ideas with BBC budget to make the best TV possible, but instead just sort of rested on, we've got loads of money, we'll do this and that'll work. That's how I take it. Maybe, I don't know Russell, maybe that's not how he meant to do it, but in my head, that's how it translated. Not to mention the fact that the reason Ncuti left was because Disney didn't renew their deal. If it was down to the BBC, they could start filming pretty much immediately after season 2, and they could film seasons 3 and 4 back to back, and then maybe Ncuti would go after that. But they didn't. Because Disney were like, we're not having that. But then again, maybe Ncuti would have never been on board the TARDIS if it wasn't for Disney, because he cast a lad, I think, in my head, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, that's my top 5 personal reasons why I think the RTD2 era failed. There are more, but I don't want to talk here for ages. I've been talking here for ages already. This is going to be a quick video. What do you think in the comments? What do you think is like the number 1 reason why RTD2 failed? And don't just be like, because it's woke or because it's badly written. Invalid answers. Be precise, please. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell on. I post every single day. Leave a comment, like I say. There's a button near the comments that says hype. Push that hype button, pushes my video out to loads of people. Thank you very, very much. If you did enjoy and you want to support me in a monetary way, you can leave a super thanks in the comments for a couple of quid. You get a shout out at the end of every video. And if you want to become a channel member, you get access to member-only videos and you get a shout out as well. So you might as well do that if you want to, but if you don't want to, don't bother. Thank you for watching. I'll see you very, very soon. Ta-ra!